worked out. I would love to see an integrated African plan. I know we have Agenda 2063, but the execution, the delivery has to be a reality. So we need to have a collaboration, cooperation between our countries and cities. So I'm not sure if we have, like yours, if we have African Mayors Forum, I'm not sure. But we need to learn from each other, to scale up the best practices in each of our countries. So there must be, or just, I can't say must, just to emphasize. Now we need to have a pooled fund, not necessarily that come from donor or partner, a fund that come from our own. And we can give a priority to have some showcases first, if that can make the integration for Africa as well. So, when we talk about the integration, I know the political, economic integration, but I don't want to go into that depths. But we need to work on that, at least, in terms of bringing knowledge, skill, experience, so that at the end of the day, we can have those smart cities. And I'm not sure, as you mentioned about the domain, I'm not sure the way how we're trying to see that smartness in an integrated manner. So I think this platform can be instrumental for such kinds of approach, so as to advise our leaders and heads of states, so that at the end of the day, we can have that structure.
Consider, as we know that being smart means we need to have an integrated approach of also communication with our communities to inform them about the advantages, and so that they can have the buy-in. We need to engage because at some point there may be some areas where we may need to displace some of our communities in order to bring in the new technologies. And then in terms of smart cities, especially for countries that may not be having enough skills and resources, I believe that collaboration and cooperation with other countries or other specialists from other countries is very crucial, because without that skills development, there isn't much that some of the developing countries can attain. And then in terms of funding, I would believe that government, yes, being the main funder of the project, like Excellency has mentioned, we can have, there has to be some funding that is specifically for that. And apart from the internationally funded funds that for projects, but I believe that funding is important, so that we can also get all facets of the economy included in there, including the private sector. Through, they can also do triple P, because most of the smart city initiatives, they take a lot of funding, they require a lot of funding, hence the need for collaboration. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I want to say that I want to look at the word sustainability for any country to, particularly African countries, to be able to sustain the smart city. There are just three main modules to look into. The first one is the man in a mixed context, which is very, very relevant to African countries. I also want to say that the relevance, we need to look at it. Is it really relevant to this country? Because in Africa, there's diversity in our culture, and then value. Value also is important, and governance. If these things are put in place, and you look at it, not just importing smart city, but building a smart for the people in Africa or in your particular country. Of course, it should be sustainable and go a long way to make sure that even in Africa, we have smart cities in existence. Thank you.
We are hard pressed for time, but I want to...
Or occupants, or who with the smart city?
Not they have, and I'm part of it. So, be it in the health, be it in the environment, be it in the water and sanitation, be it in the transportation, even roads, especially for women who are in the rural areas. By the way, when we talk about smart cities, the thinking itself is around urban areas. But it has to be seen from the perspective of our village, and we can make it with the resource we have. So it's very instrumental for benefiting women, but they should have to be a part of the process, starting from the design. Most of the time, when we target who are benefiting from this facility is a missing link. So I think, again, this platform, I'm insisting this platform, you have a thematic area who are, or an organization within this bigger umbrella that women in the engineering part and men as well have to play this instrumental role in consulting, our heads of states and contributing at continental level as well. So through increasing our participation, we can work on the skill aspect as well, not only benefiting from the outcome, we can contribute on the initial stage. So this has to be really be the agenda on the table all the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And on that note, I want to say a big thank you to all panelists.
To ensure that indeed women take part. What I would like to also note is that we need to also review our legislation, our policies, to ensure that...
For session. The cabinet has women, got those that are not ministers. Yes, Her Excellency also reminded me, the president of the Federal Supreme is a woman. And who else? The CEO of the Ethiopian National Electoral Board is a woman. Anything else? So there's like so many women, and most of these women are super young and super energetic and passionate about what they do. So let's give it up for a woman. And by the way, this is true. This is true also for the private sector and for huge I forget, Mayor of the city of Addis Ababa, actually for the first time again, is a woman. Now, please don't tell her I forgot this one. Now, quickly, I wanted to, show you this. Here, what we have is the places that you're going to go around to see tomorrow in Addis. These are the tourist sites. Right here is, go back, please, go back. Can we go back, please? Yes, there. This is the National Museum up there on the right corner. It's pretty much in a walking distance from here. And what you see here is the skeleton for Lucy. And we are the land of origins for a lot of things, including humans. So you're going to get to see Lucy as well, Lucy's remains. Now we can go next. Sir, next, please. And then here, the mayor and the prime minister keep saying, Addis Ababa, by the way, means new flower. And they are working towards making it a true new flower by renovating, rebuilding, introducing new stuff. So what you see on top is the newly rebuilt Muscle Square. And it's not only what you see. There are things you don't see here. I'll just tell you two things. One, the stairs, the curvy part is stairs and grass. You could sit there and enjoy your evening. Now, if it's a cold season, you have a heating system that comes out of it. This is an open public square, by the way. If it's a very warm season, then you have a cooling system that, flushes cool air from beneath. One very special thing about it. Underneath, we have 2-level underground parking system, smart parking system, for 1,450 cars. Yes, sir. I invite you to look at it. What else do I have here? Okay, can we go next, please? This down below is Sugar Park's Friendship Square. You have had a chance to see it, but you didn't have a chance to see it at night. But we have a dancing fountain with music and color, and it's just fascinating. And this is Sugar during the day, or Sugar Park. Well, Sugar Park is a whole big project. It's a project that encompasses 56 kilometers from up north down to south of Addis. It would be a work to renovate the entire city and rehabilitate 2 major rivers crossing the city. And this is 12 kilometers out of that. And yes, and what you see behind us in Ethiopia now. Can we go next, please, quickly? Next, please. Yes, this is the office of the Prime Minister. It's the palace, now sort of redesigned as Unity Park, which is entirely created by the vision the Prime Minister has. And you had a chance to see it, I believe. And it's historic. And that house you see there is a place where we can have a big event for up to 2,500 people. And it's been there for more than 100 years. It's a very historic hall called Menelik Hall, named after Emperor Menelik of Ethiopia. Something very fascinating. It's in Toto Park. It's up top the mountains. It's the highest ground in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa. And you have a number of hotels and services in it. And these here are rooms by a hotel called Kurriftu. And these are 5-star hotels made out of tents. Inside the tents, you have every single facility you need. The bathrooms, the bedrooms, it's just exquisite. So I'm sure you'll have a chance to see it. Do we have more, please? And by the way, when you get to the top of that mountain, you get to see Addis Ababa, the entire city of Addis from there. It's an amazing vantage point.
The chairperson for the Young Engineers Forum. That is one of the standing technical committees. And we had a lot to do, but this is the only presentation we are doing on the recently concluded survey on working post-COVID-19. Survey expectations for young engineers in Africa. And when we thought about it, it's because so many young engineers were complaining every time we talk how COVID has impacted them. And in our various meetings, we realized it's not just COVID. There's so much that needs to be discussed, and I'm happy what the minister said, because those are some of the issues that this survey has brought out, that we need to keenly focus on young engineers if we really want to have sustainable development in Africa. Next, please. These were our objectives, to assess the socio-economic impact of COVID-19 on the young engineers in Africa, to examine the response strategies, and to examine the expectations of young engineers. It's a brief summary. We hope by the end of the year you'll have a full report. Thank you. This summary of our methodology, just very simple, descriptive, quantity research approach. We used online questionnaire so that we can reach out to as many young engineers in Africa as possible. Young engineers in many other countries. because we do not have an established chapter for young engineers. So presidents who are here, I'll keep on insisting, kindly let's have young engineers on board. Education level, most of them have at undergraduate level, 19% masters, and we have a small 3% with PhD, and 4% others, those with postgraduate diplomas or certificates. Employment status, which is very, very critical to all of us, and now we are talking on sustainability in Africa. 39% of respondents are on contracts. Most of them are either in projects. After projects, they don't know what next, or 2-year contract. We have permanent, that is 21%. We have a small percent of 6% that is self-employed, internship, and we have a big percentage of 28 that is just, do we have any impact to young engineers? And the statistic that I want us to look at is none. Only 2% said they didn't have any impact. That tells you the rest of the group, they either had anxiety, stress, depression, or something else. So that's something to note. And next year, we want to take a proper survey on mental health among young engineers, where we'll be guided by professionals, because this is affecting the output at work and other health-related issues. And it said health is wealth. There's no wealth without health. And also remember, this is Generation Z. They are very prone to, we are told when it comes to pressure, they don't take pressure. If it's there, they just don't know how to